Okay, this is the worksheet problem from chapter 4 that will be on your midterm. So we already have the trial balance entered for us. We just have to do the adjusting entries. So the first journal entry we need to do is accrue service revenue. So we're going to debit accounts receivable for the 400. Remember, accrual, we're saying that money, cash is coming later. We just need to go ahead and record it as revenue earned. We're going to credit service revenue for 400. Depreciation of 200, so we're going to debit depreciation expense. For 200 and credit accumulated depreciation for 200. Accrued salaries expense, that means we need to record it as an expense now, but accrued means we're going to pay it later, so that would be salaries payable. For 700, and then prepaid rent expired, so that turns into rent expense. So we're going to debit rent expense for 800, and we're going to credit prepaid rent for 800. And then office supplies used, we use those up, so we're going to debit supplies expense and credit office supplies. Now we need to add our debits and credits up. 400 plus 200 is 600 plus 700 is 1300, 2100, 2500 on the debit side. On the credit side, 11, 13, 17, 2500. So our debits and our credits equal. Now we need to get our new balances. So now cash didn't change, but accounts receivable went up. Prepaid rent, 1400 minus 800 would be 600. Office supplies, 3700 minus 400 would be 3300. Equipment doesn't change. We keep up depreciation in a separate place. 1800 plus 200, accumulated depreciation is 2000. Accounts payable did not change, 5800. Now there is 700 in salaries payable, and common stock is 34,500. Dividends is 2,700, and service revenue is 8,800. And then depreciation expense is 200, and salaries expense is 2,700. Rent expense is 800, and then depreciation expense, I just noticed I put on the wrong side. Utility expense is 500, and supplies expense is 400. Okay, and when you add those up, it should be 51,800. Then we're going to prepare the income statement, and you can look at the worksheet if you need to. You're only looking at the numbers on the adjusted trial balance, and you only want your income statement account, so we need to scroll down till we get to revenues and expenses. So our revenue was 8,800. Only put revenue and expenses on here on the correct side, and put your expenses. And then you want to add your sides up. They're not going to be the same. 29, 37, 42, 4,600. The difference between the credit side and the debit side is the net income. So you want to, if revenue is more than expenses, it is net income. If revenue is less than your expenses, it would be over here and it would be a net loss. But then you add them together to verify that your net income number is correct. Then you want to do the balance sheet, which is going to be your assets, liability, everything but revenue and expenses. So we're going to enter those numbers as good as we can here. Cash is 4,200. Accounts receivable is 4,000. Prepaid rent is 600. Office supplies is 3,300. Equipment is 32,400. Accumulated depreciation equipment is 2,000. Accounts payable is 5,800. Salaries payable is 700. Common stock is 34,500. And dividends are 2,700. And then you will need to add your assets up. So 4,200 plus 4,000 plus 600 plus 3,300 plus 32,400 plus 2,700 is 47,200 on the asset side. Then on the liability side, on the debit side, on the credit side, you will add 2,000 plus 5,800 plus 700 plus 34,500. And you get 43,000 on the credit side. So the difference here is your net income, and it should be the same number over here that it is over here. And it is. So we know that if we get the same number for net income on the income statement worksheet and on the balance sheet, then we are in good shape. And then, of course, your debits need to equal your credits. So the net income for November is 4,200. And that is the way you complete the worksheet. And this is what you will need to be able to do for your midterm problem.